Chef Steve Squier from PICARO Cocktails and Tacos, as well as Cohen's Beer Republic, has won the Canada's Kitchen Party, and we've invited Chef Steve to just take a quick break this afternoon, come spend some time with us, shed some light on what he did, and celebrate his win. Chef Steve, thanks for joining us here this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
I want to talk a little bit about yourself, first of all, and how you got involved in your career and your role as the executive chef now.
Yeah, well, my journey starts out in actually in Thunder Bay, Ontario, where I was born and raised. Started working in restaurants there. When I was about 23, I moved to Waskesiu. I was part of the team that helped open the hotel at Elkridge Resort. And then I just kind of bounced around the prairies a little bit. I spent some time in Saskatoon and some time in Alberta, up in Lake Louise, Canmore, short stint in Edmonton. I was working with the Fairmont group out there, and then came back here to, take the sous chef job at the Delta Besborough. Chef Chris was, who is our corporate chef. Actually, me and him have been working together for the last 10 years. So he kind of gave me the call and said, we're going back to Saskatoon. And then we got presented with an opportunity to, join the Taste Restaurant Group and open PICARO, and then ultimately Cohen's Beer Republic after that as well, and our many other ventures that we have on the go.
It sounds like that broad-based experience that you have has obviously led to your successful win. Let's talk about the Great Canadian Kitchen Party. It's not just a meal. There's a whole bunch of facets involved in that. How did you get involved with it, and what is that about?
I have been involved in this competition for about the last 5 years now. Like I said, Chef Chris Hill, our corporate chef, we've been working together so long, and I was part of all of his teams that were involved in the competition, which ultimately, led to me getting the invitation. He decided after we competed 2 years ago that would be his last year. Fortunately, we did win that year, and we went on to get the silver medal at the national competition. So I've been lucky enough to be part of this great competition, and lucky to be invited as the chef myself.
So it's an invitation, and it's across Canada, but there's different cities that participate in that. So how would that process get you into the kitchen, so to speak? I like to barbecue, but I can't just apply to run and enter in that competition. They must know about you, and you must know about them, and an application or a vetting process to get only the best like yourself there.
Yeah, they have a panel of judges. There's obviously James Chatto, who runs the national judging program, and then we have local judges as well. So our local judge, Noelle Chorney, she has a big say into what chefs get involved, and she's a great food critic that we have here and food writer in the province. So just I know her from doing different events and things like that. But yeah, definitely my involvement with being part of a team that had won and then striking out on my own definitely helps. But there's no application or anything like that. It's just the time of year comes around and you wait for an email to see if you were invited, and it's really is an honor to be just invited, because it does mean that you are being recognized as one of the up and coming talents of your region.
And it's notable. I know I have attended in the past, and it is quite something. There's not just the food, there's the entertainment. Jim Cuddy is also participating on the entertainment side. There's sports. But I guess I'm kind of curious, and many are, when it comes time to choose the ingredients and what it is that you're going to compete with. How do you start with some of those concepts, and is it trial and error, or is it something that you happen to look up on the internet, or where does that come from for you?
For me, usually 2 days after the competition has ended, it's start thinking about the next year if you do get invited, and what you can do and how to elevate. But for me and my team, we're very good at kind of putting flavors together in our minds and knowing that they're going to work together. But we really try to push ourselves on the technique. And specifically this year, I really wanted to highlight Saskatchewan ingredients. Like I said, I'm not from here, but when I did move here, I was so surprised with the abundance of amazing ingredients that are available in Saskatchewan. And I always take any chance I can to, showcase those ingredients. So that's usually in the forefront of my mind. And then just really trying to think up new techniques, following different chefs in our chef community from around the world to chefs right here in our city. But and seeing what everyone's doing, but really just, kind of coming up with something innovative. I mean, it's tough to be completely brand new when it comes to cooking. It's all been done, but it's how you can put it together and the little touches here and there that you can put on it to make it your own.
Just a little bit of an edge, I guess. So it's more of a personal touch, it sounds like. There's the food component, and then there's also a wine pairing as well. Is that something that you do, or do you work with a sommelier or some group of wineries that you've experienced in the past? How does that come together?
Well, we're told that we need to use Canadian wines because we want to showcase what we have in Canada. So it's just going around, and to be honest, I start with what wines do I drink at home. What do I like to have? And then it's working with reaching out to different vineyards and just talking with them and seeing if they're interested. A lot of vineyards love to be involved in this. It is a big ask for them because they do donate upwards of, I mean, if you go to the national competition, upwards of 6 to 8 cases of wine, but they do get a very big exposure. So it's nice to work with them and see what they think would pair well with our dishes. We use our own resources here, our sommeliers and our management team. We're all very versed in wine, but we always like to bring it to the vineyard and the winemakers and ask their opinions and see what they think. And very often, what I think is going to be the wine that I'm gonna go with, they come back to me with something, and it just completely blows my mind.
So talk a little bit about what it was that you won with on your menu and items that were on the plate in this year's competition.
So this year, I went with my version of a Saskatchewan surf and turf. I really wanted to showcase everything Saskatchewan this year. So we started with a newer product to the province using snow beef. I absolutely love the idea of this. The inventiveness of this is amazing. So it's old dairy cows that once they're done producing their milk, they're put onto the same diet and routine as Wagyu beef from Japan, which just gives them an amazing marbling and tenderness. So we did a braised snow beef short rib. I paired that with some butter poached pickerel cheeks. We got pickerel cheeks from up north, which we at the restaurant we only use fish from up north, and then some toasted spelt grain, obviously local. Some beautiful Saskatchewan chanterelle mushrooms that I preserved from the summer season. Some pickled mustard because I mean we do produce 95% of the mustard in Canada, and I love to show it off as much as possible. So we did some nice pickled mustard, and just a simple red wine sauce to go with that.
I could say simple red wine sauce or something, and I burn water when I boil it. So it's good to see that someone like yourself is expanding that knowledge and utilizing those ingredients that are grown locally. In terms of developing your menu, when you look at what you're doing at Picaro and Cohen's, does that change regularly, or are there things that are on the horizon that are maybe a little more cost conscious or flavor conscious, or Is there a 100-mile diet? What are you hearing from consumers when they come into the restaurants?
Yeah, we take a little bit of a different approach when it comes to the local diet, if you shall. We our whole focus, especially with Picaro being a Latin and taco focused restaurant, my whole theory with that is to take the heart and soul of Latin cuisine and especially Mexican cuisine and transport that into Saskatchewan, and then use what we have around us, but using the techniques and the flavors of say Mexico and Latin America. But we also like to look at Canada as a whole, buy Canadian whenever we can, using things that are in season. They may not be in season in Saskatchewan, but they could be in season in British Columbia or in Quebec. So we really like to look at that aspect of things as well. But we do like to keep things seasonal as possible. We have rotating features which we like to change up, every 2 weeks or so. But we like to shift our menus for the season, especially when we enter the summer months here in Saskatchewan. There's so many great producers here that we love to take advantage of that. So that's kind of our philosophy with the menu.
I'm hungry already. I don't know how that happens, but Steve, if someone wanted to reach out to you or find out more about Picaro or Cohen's, how would they do that?
You can check out the Taste Restaurant website. It has all of our restaurants and our catering on there as well. I'm on Instagram, Chef Squier. Yeah, or come on down and check out the restaurants. I know people are starting to hunker down right now, but we are following all the protocols and making sure that we have a safe environment for everybody.
Right on. Executive Chef Steve Squier, I want to congratulate you again and thanks for taking some time. We'll be down to see you real soon.
Thanks for having me.
Stay with us, folks. We're coming right back.